Good morning.
Good morning.
Any fresh injuries to report after the other night?
No, I think we have the same ones. Martinelli is still out. Saliba, we have to wait and see. We have another training session this afternoon, and the rest is still getting closer. I think in the right direction, but not available yet.
So Saliba's got a chance, but Martinelli, do you foresee how long he might be out for?
No, we don't know yet, but I think this game is going to come too early for him.
Just on those other four that you mentioned, just Jesus, Odegaard, Madueke, Havertz, have you got any updates on when they could be back?
I would say weeks, and some of them pretty soon, hopefully, if they keep evolving the way they are doing. But difficult to put a game. You know that we have the international break, which is a 2-week break there. And after that, I think we'll have some back. I don't know if it's going to be all of them, some of them, but we'll be quite close by then.
8 wins on the spin now for your team. I'm guessing momentum is very, very difficult to build, but very easy to shatter in a way. Is that the message to your team, to keep the foot on the gas consistently?
Yeah, and maintain the level of urgency, the concentration, the focus, the ambition that we are showing every game. And every game brings different challenges. Sometimes we have to be very patient. Some of the times we have to have a different approach. And the game against Burnley is going to be really tough. They are extremely well coached. I know it's called really well what is done with the club and with this team. It's formidable. And when you look at all the games that I see, 5 of those, the last games that they played, very, very tough team to beat.
They are one of the 3 promoted teams. In the last 2 seasons, all 3 promoted teams have gone down. Currently, none of those 3 promoted teams are in the relegation zone. Can you put into context how competitive this particular Premier League is?
Well, more than ever, I think the level is increasing year after year. Better structure, better organization, better decision making from clubs, managers, better players. So it tells you the difficulty of that. And when I look against big teams, the way they have behaved and how they have earned points or lose points, it's for very small margins, and that's the reality in this league.
You've said before that you've loved every minute of being manager at Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
I guess even win, lose or draw, you said that you loved it. Is picking this team currently fast becoming the worst part of your job?
No, I cannot say that. It is the worst part in terms of the decision with certain players when you don't allow them to play, which is the hardest part in our job. But they acknowledge that as well. And at the end, it's like when they make decisions, some good, some bad, and not judging every decision that they make. We cannot do that. So the other way around, this cannot happen. So at the moment, we are dealing with it in a really positive way. And you can see the consequences to that in the impact that every player that is not playing is having, and when they have to play, the way they are performing. And you only do that with good preparation and good mental state.
How do you manage that disappointment, though? Because it's human nature for players to say, I should be playing, I deserve to play. But sometimes you have to tell them, actually, you're not going to be in the team today. Well,
it's an education that you get since you are young, and you decide to play football. You know that there's 11 players playing, and then another 10 or 12 that they're not going to start the game. Doesn't mean they're going to be important for the team. So hopefully that's an education that all of us got with the right coaches very early in our careers. If I have to do that right now, obviously it will be difficult. And just try to do it, with an open heart, understanding that you care about them and you want the best, and they will have their moments. And then, try to be as fair as possible when you see certain behaviors and that willingness to play, gives them obviously the opportunity to play.
Final one from me, Mikel. It's often said a team reflects their manager. When I'm watching Arsenal now, they look calm and controlled. Mm-hmm. When I'm watching you on the sidelines, you seem to be calm and controlled.
Yeah, sometimes more than others, yeah.
Are you? And I remember you were talking just before the Atletico Madrid game that you've been working on that side of it. What have you done to try and become a little bit more calm and controlled on the sideline?
I think it's the years. I think the trust and confidence that you have in in the team as well, in the work that you do. Getting feedback, I think, is the best thing for people that are very close in our jobs, people that knows you really, really well. Where is that coming from? Because sometimes it's a way. I want my team to be very active and at the same time very creative and very disciplined. And if you want the manager to be like that, you cannot be just watching the game like this. So as well, it's something that is the way I am, is the way I live the game, and I want the players as well to live the game constantly with that body language. And from there, yeah, you can always improve.
Thank you.
Anita, Premier?
Morning,
Hi.
Mikel. I wanted to pick up on what you just said there. Are you able to maybe tell us who it is that you turn to for feedback?
No, a lot of people, some of them, and I cannot say it here, but it's just that, and the good and the bad, all ideas that they can bring to make us better. People that have a different perspective, they're not with us every single day, and probably that's the people that has the more clear picture about looking at things with a different idea or perspective to help us, not only me, but all the coaches, and for sure the players as well.
Some of them we know, is that other managers by any chance?
Yeah, other sports can be, but you will know them, yeah.
Okay. Going back to the competitiveness of the team, after the game against Brighton, Mars Lewis Skelly said that he enjoys that competitive spirit and he loves to give you something to think about. Do you feel in virtually every position at the moment, all your players are giving you something to think about ahead of choosing a starting 11?
Well, that's what we want to create. If we want to get the best out of all of them, those standards have to be set in training. And if you don't have that in training, very difficult to replicate it during matches. So this is the balance between the competition and the cooperation between the players as well, to understand their role on the day and what they have to do. But I love that spirit.
Scott Parker was also very complimentary about you. He said that it's an exceptional, well-oiled machine when it comes to talking about Arsenal. Do you feel the team is a well-oiled machine, or how far are they away from being that?
Yeah, I think we are able to dominate a lot of aspects of the game. We can, of course, improve in many of them still, and that's a constant evolution as a team. But the more resources and the more things we can dominate throughout a game, especially in the Premier League, the better chance you have to win games.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Hi, Mikel, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
As we sit here right now, we don't know when your League Cup quarter-final with Crystal Palace is going to be played, because there is, to put it mildly, a pile-up of fixtures.
Not on Christmas Day, I think.
It's not.
Christmas Eve.
It's
Yeah?
not an option.
Okay. Hopefully not.
I was wondering if you could speak to me about where we've got to now regarding players and supporters, and how the amount of fixtures and how often they're coming is beginning to affect both players and supporters.
Yeah. Well, every decision that we make in terms of a fixture has to be guided on two main things. I think players' welfare and then supporters. That's it. And the rest has to come very, very far away from that. And we should never forget that principle. That's the only thing I would say.
Are we in a situation sometime soon, not now, but maybe in a season or two, if this continues in the amount of fixtures that big clubs are having to play, they may have to pull out of some competitions because they just can't fit all the games in?
I hope we don't go. If we have that big piece of paper with those two principles there in front before we make any decision, all of us in our industry, we won't get there. If we don't and we just ignore that, then anything is possible.
On a brighter note, we're coming into November. You're winning every game without conceding a goal. Other teams are inconsistent, let's put it that way, likes of Man City, likes of Liverpool. In terms of that, is this the perfect opportunity now for you and Arsenal to go and achieve what you want to?
It's a big opportunity what we have ahead of us, but we have to continue with that level of consistency, and we know how difficult that is. And tomorrow is going to be an extremely tough match for us, and we're going to have to again hit those performance levels to end the game.
And finally, you've spoken about how difficult it is to pick the team and tell players when they're in the starting 11 and not in the starting 11. Two youngsters the other night you were beaming about, one making his debut, Max Down, when we've seen before. How difficult is it to tell youngsters, kids, when they've played and they've had that high, sorry, maybe you're not starting next game, or you may not even be in the squad next. How difficult is that for you? Because you said the other night it was one of the proudest nights you had.
Well, when you're delivering good news, it's so easy and it's so wonderful, and you get an incredible reaction. But you have to be prepared in our job to give all the kind of news and messages sometimes. And it is for the best for the team, and maybe not for the best of the individual. But you never know, because some decisions that at the time you think they are not good for you, they become the best decision for your career. And I have experienced that myself. So take them, make the most out of them, and we'll see what happens next day.
Tom from London?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Miles spoke to some of my colleagues on Wednesday, and he used the word "our house" to describe the Emirates. I'm curious, is that something that you've kind of instilled culturally, or has that organically come from the players, that tag of the Emirates being our house?
That's the way I feel it, hopefully the way they feel it as well. But to use that language, you really have to feel it. You have to feel that when you get there, your energy level, your desire to defend your house, to threaten anybody that comes very close to that, it has to be your mindset. And if the players feeling that, and our supporters feel that, I think we're going to be stronger.
And when you now go away, as you do on Saturday, how does that messaging change, being in enemy territory, for instance? How does that change the wording, if you like, of what goes from our house to their house?
Yeah, we go to a different territory. Obviously, we use a different language to that. But yeah, at the end, the purpose and what we want to achieve in the game is very similar, but the context changes because we are in a different situation.
Simon, Standard?
Mikel, just on the calendar and fixture issues, Rodri last season spoke quite passionately about players feeling they're at the point where they might have to strike to get their voices heard. Is that when you talk about anything is possible, your kind of fears that people aren't being listened to, take sort of extreme measures to get what needs?
Hopefully no. If we look after the players' welfare and our supporters, I think we're never going to get to that point. And that's it. And we have to close the window there. We cannot open that window. It has to be closed. It's our most precious value. We have the best league in the world, and we cannot just open any window for anything just to lose that, because we don't respect that, and we forget what we are made of and what it makes this game and this league so special. And if we respect that, I'm sure we're going to be totally fine.
Just on Nolly, Martin and Kai, you sounded pretty confident on them. That game after the international break, obviously the North London derby, is your hope that you can have the trio back for that?
Yeah, I'm excited because they are tremendous players. I see them work every single day, how desperate they are to be part of the team, the huge boost that is going to be for the squad to have. And those players, again, available after such a long time. So really happy that I think it's going to be very soon.
Flames Athletic?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
I just wondered, when you have a night like you did the other night in the League Cup, where players who played less are making a big contribution, academy players making a big contribution, what impact does that have in the dressing room in the days that follow? Do you see the transformational impact that can have?
Absolutely, and especially when we talk about players that they are starting their careers, because we all been there, and that's something that I discuss with the players. I make sure that when Andre thinks about this day, he knows exactly the date, the team, the hour, and who we played next to that, and what actually happened that day, because that's for the rest of your life, and we are all responsible to make that day, that night, very, very special for him. And the other fact, because you play a cup, that you are in or you are out, and if we want to win every trophy, want to be there, we have to be ruthless in every competition. And in order to achieve that, we're going to need any player, and in order to do that, you have to be at your best, and we have a lot of players that play very few minutes. But on -3, Kepa make that save because every day he trains like a beast, and it's not a coincidence.
You have got a really talented group, a big group as well. Do you have any concerns about sustaining a group of that size in the long term, or do you feel more that this is a necessity and other clubs will be following that example?
Well, because I've been part of that. When I was here at Arsenal, and we have an incredible squad. When I was at Manchester City, and you could pick 2 or 3 players per position. If you want to be able to Chelsea's or Liverpool when they win it, they all have it. We don't do anything special, and thanks God we have it, because we have 5 or 6 players out, big players out, and we are having to use other kind of solutions as well, and the team remains competitive. So very necessary. I don't think you get away at that level with anything else than that.
Okay, we'll do the last couple in the years live. Firstly, Phil at the back of the PA.
Hi, Mikel. Just one more on the fixture congestion. Is there an easy fix? Because obviously it's a topic that comes up season after season. Is there an easy solution to it?
No, probably it's not easy, but it has to be doable, because if we are putting something that is not doable, then what are we doing? So it's doable for sure, so let's do it in the best possible manner, respecting players and supporters, that's it.
And just in terms of Arsenal's form at the moment, when you go on a run like this, 8 wins in a row, 6 clean sheets, I mean, the confidence in the camp must be so high. Is there a feeling, that Arsenal are unstoppable at the moment?
No, because you always have that sense of urgency, and you see the complications and the challenges that the next opponent is going to bring you, and we know that, and every 3 days with very little time to train and prepare, we always have to be like this, and I see everybody in their toes, ready for the next game, and accepting that challenge and understanding that the opportunity is there as well, and if we do what we have to do, we have a big opportunity to win again.
James, ESPN.
Mikel, when does the title race start for you?
I don't know, for you, in pre-season already. So for me, it's the first day in pre-season, just trying to prepare the team and individuals in the best possible way and go game by game, because it's going to be so long.
There seems to be a real belief among the players that they can win it this year. I mean, do you encourage them to talk about it openly, or do you kind of shut it down? How do you treat that around the place?
Yeah, but we have to focus on the journey and what we have to do every single day. Fixing the outcome, of course, we want to win it, and the preparation is towards that. Great. And now you have set all the protocols, processes, ambitions, everything, and now you have to focus on what you have to do. If not, you get distracted with the rest, and I don't want any of that in and around the team.
Because after finishing second for 3 years, it would be easy maybe to think there's a ceiling, we're never going to get there, but they seem to have been able to kick on past that. How have you done that?
Because at the end you learn that the margins at the end to achieve it or not are multiple. So it can be that an opposition player is 1-against-1 against the keeper, he scores that goal, you are champion. The other keeper saves it, you are not champion. It can be other injuries, it can be other decisions, it can be a mistake of mine, it can be that many factors that we cannot control that outcome. What we can control is what we can do the best, that's it.
Talking about Son.
Talking about a lot of things I can.
He's the one you're thinking of, though, isn't it?
So it's a lot of factors that has to go your way. You can do a lot of great things, and still a lot of things have to go your way. And the injuries and the plays that you have to play, and they have to be there, and the personal lives have to be perfect, because if not, it can unbalance. It's so many things, guys, and it's still so long. And we've seen already the turnaround in the league, and you go to the Champions League is the same, other league is the same. We are in a really specific context at the moment, and let's focus day by day.